Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to Formula Amateur. Today, we'll be discussing the Formula 3 race in Silverstone, the long-awaited video that I don't know why it took me so long, but this is one of many that you'll see ranting going on about, and it was quite an adventurous one, so let's get into it. So first of all, we'll start off with the free practice session, and as usual, we'll start from the bottom to the top, and we'll discuss how many laps each driver did. So in 30th position was Slater, who was disqualified from practice session. In 29th was Ho, who did 14 laps. In 28th was Barrichello, who did 16 laps. In 27th was Escotto, who did 16 laps. In 26th was Shin, who did 16 laps. In 25th was Claro, who did 16 laps. In 24th was Ley, who did 16 laps. In 23rd was Tappinen, who did 17 laps. In 22nd was Badua, who did 16 laps. In 21st was G, who did 15 laps. In 20th was Kate, who did 15 laps. In 19th was Garfias, who did 16 laps. In 18th was Bakdi, who did 17 laps. In 17th was Guadish, who did 16 laps. In 16th was Delpino, who did 16 laps. In 15th was Lacorte, who did 16 laps. In 14th was Wharton, who did 15 laps. In 13th was Kolnagi, who did 18 laps. In 12th was Justy, who did 18. In 11th is David, who did 16. In 10th is Nakamura, who did 15. In 9th is Sharp, who did 16. In 8th is Stromstead, who did 15. In 7th is Ugachukwu, who did 15. In 6th is McLaughlin, who did 16. In 5th is Niel, who did 15. In 4th is Deligny, who did 16. In 3rd is Yamakoshi, who did 17. In 2nd is DePalo, who did 16. And in 1st is Rivera, who did 15. And now in terms of the qualifying session, in 30th position was Escotto, who dropped 3 positions. In 29th was Barrichello, who dropped 1 position. In 28th is Shin, who dropped 2 positions. In 27th is Burnback, who dropped 9 positions. In 26th is Ho, who gained 3 positions. In 25th is Lacorte, who dropped 10 positions. In 24th is Deligny, who dropped 20 positions. In 23rd is G, who dropped 2 positions. In 22nd is Badua, who stayed where he was. In 21st is Claro, who gained 4 positions. In 20th was Tappinen, who gained 3 positions. In 19th was Garfias, who stayed where he was. In 18th is Yamakoshi, who dropped 15 positions. In 17th is Del Pino, who dropped 1 position. In 16th is Kato, who gained 4 positions. In 15th is Nakamura, who dropped 5 positions. In 14th is Kolnagi, who dropped 1 position. In 13th is Ley, who gained 11 positions. In 12th is Ugachukwu, who dropped 5 positions. In 11th is David, who stayed where he was. In 10th is Justy, who gained 2 positions. In 9th is Wharton, who gained 5 positions. In 8th is Guadish, who gained 9 positions. In 7th is Stromstead, who gained 1 position. In 6th is McLaughlin, who stayed where he was. In 5th is DePalo, who dropped 3 positions. In 4th is Rivera, who dropped 3 positions. In 3rd is Sharp, who gained 6 positions. In 2nd is Niel, who gained 3. And in 1st is Slater, who gained 29 as a result of his previous disqualification. So how did the starting grid look like? Well, as we know, that only the top 12 are reversed. So in terms of that, Slater would start 12th. In 11th would be Niel. In 10th is Sharp. In 9th is Rivera. In 8th is DePalo. In 7th is McLaughlin. In 6th is Stromstead. In 5th is Guadish. In 4th is Wharton. In 3rd is Justy. In 2nd is David. And in 1st is Ugachukwu. And how did the sprint pan out itself? In 30th position, dropping 4 is Ho. In 29th is G, who dropped 6. In 28th is Escotto, who gained 2. In 27th is Garfias, who dropped 8. In 26th is Shin, who gained 2. In 25th is Burnback, who gained 2. In 24th, Barrichello, who gained 5. In 23rd is Lacorte, who gained 2. In 22nd is Deligny, who gained 2. In 21st is Delpino, who dropped 4. In 20th is Claro, who gained 1. In 19th is Badua, who gained 3. In 18th is Carter, who dropped 2. In 17th is Tappinen, who gained 3. In 16th is Ley, who dropped 3. In 15th is Kolnagi, who dropped 1. In 14th is Rivera, who dropped 5. In 13th is Nakamura, who gained 2. In 12th is Yamakoshi, who gained 6. In 11th is Justy, who dropped 8. In 10th is Wharton, who dropped 6. In 9th, McLaughlin, who dropped 2. In 8th is Sharp, who gained 2. In 7th is Slater, who gained 5. In 6th is Guadish, who dropped 1. In 5th is Stromstead, Zed, who gained 1. In 4th is DePalo, who gained 4. In 3rd is Niall, who gained 8. In 2nd is David, who stayed where he was. And in 1st is Ugochukwu, who stayed where he was. And in terms of the race, how did that pan out? In 30th position and with a DNF was Lacorte, who dropped 5 positions. In 29th is Escotto, who gained 1 position but also did not finish the race. In 28th is Barrichello, who gained 1 position and did not finish the race either. In 27th is Ho, dropped 1 position but did finish the race, and everyone else onwards has also. In 26th is Carter, who dropped 10. In 25th is Bakti, who gained 2. In 24th is Shin, who gained 4. In 23rd is Ji, who stayed where he was. In 22nd is Garfias, who dropped 3. In 21st is Kornagi, who dropped 7. In 20th is McLaughlin, who dropped 14. In 19th is Delpino, who dropped 2. In 18th is Badua, who gained 4. In 17th is Deligny, who gained 7. In 16th is Nakamura, who dropped 1. In 15th is Niall, who dropped 13. In 14th is Tapano, who gained 6. In 13th is Clara, who gained 8. In 12th is Yamakoshi, who gained 6. In 11th is David, who stayed where he was. In 10th is Jutti, who stayed where he was. In 9th is Lay, who gained 4. In 8th is Stromstead, who dropped 1. In 7th is Sharp, who dropped 4. In 6th is Ugochukwu, who gained 6. In 5th is Slater, who dropped 4. In 4th is Water, who gained 5. In 3rd is Guadish, who gained 5. In 2nd is Rivera, who dropped 2. And in 1st is DePalo, who gained 4. And the reason why this race result is interesting is because it didn't actually end like that, because DePalo, who finished first, was disqualified after the race, and so was Revere, which meant that Guadish won the race, although he was on the podium 3rd. But in actual fact, he didn't even realize that he initially got 3rd position because of other disqualifications along the way, which boosted him up to 3rd, and he was actually late for the podium due to the lack of information in regards to whether he is on the podium or not. So it was quite funny to see 2 people on the podium and then suddenly a 3rd person running straight from their car, not being in the cool down room at all, but he got there eventually and it turns out he was the winner overall anyway. But how does that make the leaderboard look like? So in 1st position is Ugochukwu with 104 points. 18 points behind him in 2nd is Slater with 86. In 3rd, 26 points behind Slater is Niall on 60. In 4th, 3 points behind Niall is Stromstead with 57. In 5th, 8 points behind Stromstead is Delpino on 49. In 6th is Guadish, 5 points behind Delpino on 44. In 7th is Badua, 3 points behind Guadish on 41. In 8th is Claro, 2 points behind Badua on 30. In 9th, 3 points behind Claro is Yamakoshi on 36. In 10th is Kato, 6 points behind Yamakoshi on 30. In 11th, 2 points behind Kato is Rivera on 28. And in 12th is Deligny, who is also on 28. In 13th is Nakamura, who is 4 points behind Deligny on 24. In 14th is Ji, who's a further 4 points behind Nakamura on 20. In 15th is Wharton, who's another point behind Ji on 19. In 16th is Tapanen, who's 1 point behind Wharton on 18. In 17th is Sharp, who's a further 1 point behind on 17. In 18th is David, who's a further 2 points behind on 15. In 19th, a further 2 points behind David is Justy on 13. And another 2 points behind Justy in 20th is Lay on 11. In 21st is DePalo, who's a further 4 points behind Lay on 7. In 22nd is Benavides, a further 1 point behind DePalo on 6. In 23rd is Lacorte, who's 4 points behind Benavides on 2. In 24th is McLaughlin, who is on the same as Lacorte, which is 2. In 25th is Kolnagi, who's a further point behind McLaughlin and Lacorte on 1. And in 26th is Garfias, who is also on 1 point, just like Kolnagi. And then in 27 is Bakti, who is 1 point behind on 0. And also on is Ho in 28th. Hosenroder, who took part in 1 race on 0 in 29th. In 30th is Barrichello. In 31st is Shin. In 32nd is Hannah, who took part in 1 race. In 33rd is Escotto, who only took part in a few races, and he's still taking part as a result of the fact that he is temporarily Benavides's replacement while he is trying to recover from his accident in Monaco. And in 34th is Carrasquedo, who never started racing in Formula 3. In terms of the team's championship, though, in first position is Campos Racing on 192. 42 points behind them on 150 is Trident. 37 points behind Trident is Van Amersfoort Racing on 113. And then a further 28 points behind on 85 is the ART Grand Prix. And then another 5 points behind ART Grand Prix is Rodin Motorsport on 80. Then 43 points behind Rodin Motorsport is Prema Racing on 37. And then a further 5 points behind Prema is MP Motorsport on 32. Then 6 points behind MP Motorsport is High Tech on 26. And a further 4 points behind High Tech is Dams Lucas Oil on 22. And finally, AIX Racing is at the very bottom, 1 point behind Dams Lucas Oil on 21 points. Thank you so much for listening or watching to another episode of Formula Amateur. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. It really helps me out. And don't forget to share with anybody who you might think would like to listen to this. I not only do race rundowns, I also do some bits and bobs about things such as new regulations, changes in teams, motorsport news, and things like that. So please be here for that as well. More to come in the future, including Formula 2 and Formula 1 race rundowns from Silverstone, and with Belgium as well, it being the next race, and after that Hungary. This is a long season, 22, maybe 24 races. We'll see how it goes in the world. Don't forget to check out my lovely colleagues on the Be The Change Media Network. Don't forget to check out BeTheChangeMediaNetwork.com. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.